Right, okay, ladies and gents, boys and girls, a legend that is of days gone by, but obviously still a legend nowadays. It is the one and only Martin Grainger. Hello, Martin.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm doing good, sir. Yourself?
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I beg your pardon?
I said thanks for having me.
Oh, no, it's an absolute pleasure, my friend. It's an absolute pleasure. First off, on behalf of every Birmingham City fan, I think what I will say for those that remember you playing is thanks for the memories. And there were some absolute beauties. Yeah, mate, I tell you what.
I still love you, Martin.
No.
Thank you.
Oh, dear. What are you doing with life nowadays then, Martin?
These days, I'm an actual qualified train driver.
A qualified train driver?
Which I'm really enjoying.
Was that something as a kid you always wanted to do?
Nah.
No, just fell into it.
Always wanted to be in football, but I mean the reason I'm probably not in football these days is because my eldest son is a professional at Leighton.
Yes, he is, yeah.
And my youngest, I've been coaching his team now since I was 6, 7 years old, so I didn't want to miss out on any of their weekends, so I took a back step for me, so I could spend the time with him.
Quite a few people are making comments. The G-Man played with a broken leg, Ledge. Best left back I've ever seen down the Blues from Sean Green. And that free kick against Man United, always remember that from Stuart Kindred, do beg your pardon. Keep right on, G-Man, the G-Man. G-Man, brilliant player. You've been Graingered. Benji Smith says evening Mart. Ian Fontaine says Ledge. So not a single bad comment coming through about you, mate. So we still love you just as much as we always did.
That's very nice. Obviously people know what I feel about the club. I spent a lot of time there. My whole family's there for 7 or 8 years. Just holds a special place inside me.
It was 226 appearances for the Blues you did.
Yeah, it should have been a lot more, unfortunately. Really.
Well,
but
even I get them, and that's just through walking.
Yeah, that's the only disappointing thing, really. When we get to where we wanted to be, and it fell apart for me. But at least I was part of getting to.
Who was your first game against?
Barry Fry. When Barry Fry bought me, we played Grimsby away, and he came and put his arm around my shoulder and said, "Mark, can you play right back?"
And what position was you playing?
It was a 2-1 defeat, but my debut was right back instead of left back.
Okay. And can you play right back?
Yeah, play anywhere.
Anyway. Oh dear. Dean Lamos, how could there be a bad comment? He's a player that we all... that Grainger double tackle at Gillingham, do you remember that one?
Yes. Yeah, I've done the lads a favour, to be fair, because after I got sent off, we went and won 2-1.
Oh, right.
1-0 down.
And Des Fox is asking, did you ever play against them up the street?
Did I ever, sorry?
Did you ever play against them across the expressway? I can't say the word, we're allowed to
say. Yeah, it was the first derby in the Premier League. I think we actually won, was it 2-0 or 3-0 at home, where Enkelman had the old famous throw one under his foot.
Oh, yeah.
I knew the rules.
I'd just got back from Florida, got off the plane, drove back home, and found the only pub in town that had got that game on, and watched it in the pub. So yeah.
I actually don't think he touched it, but his reaction made the referee's mind up.
Yeah, and I've actually just got in touch with the guy who ran on the pitch afterwards.
Oh, the one that slaps Enkelman?
Yeah, just gave him the little.
Gave him a little salute.
Alison Shilton, I'm swooning over Mr. Grainger, the Ledge, and can we sign his son? So your son's playing professionally now then for Luton, did you say?
Leighton Orient.
Leighton Orient, beg your pardon, Leighton Orient. I've never going with an L. You've got the world's worst memory. How's it getting on?
Yeah, they started off quite well. They started off, the first 6 or 7 games I was up in the top 6, but they've had a real bad run at the moment. They've had quite a few players, and I think they've only picked points up in the last 27.
Yeah.
They've dropped down the league, but they're doing well in games, but they're just not scoring. On a non-personal note, Charlie's doing all right himself at the moment. He's putting in some performances, so that's pleasing to him. The team needs to start picking up a few points, unfortunately. But it's going to be a long process. I mean, they had a couple of years with some Italian owners that it was a downward spiral since they took over. And the new owners, Ken Teague, is the CIO at Dunkin' Donuts, and he's told the fans it's going to be a 4 or 5 year project, and we're going to have some rough times, we're going to have some good times. So they're doing it in the right way, but with small steps, but they really need to start picking up a few points, and hopefully they can do that tomorrow night. They've got Gateshead at home.
Cracking. Well, I think though, if an owner or somebody at the top end of a club comes out and says, we've got a 4 or 5 year plan for this club, I think every supporter would be on board with it.
You prefer that?
We've obviously had our difficulties.
Yeah, I think
difficulties over the last few years.
Yeah, I think it's because they're a relatively club for that division.
Yeah.
Everyone expects, we'll go and sign a lot of players, we'll do this, we'll do that. But I think the previous owners, racked up a little bit of debt.
Yeah.
And they're doing it in the right way, small steps. I mean, if supporters know that, then they are getting a little bit disgruntled at the moment because obviously they're not winning. It's like the same situation with Birmingham, isn't it? They're at the bottom.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're not winning, people start venting their anger. But hopefully they'll turn it round and just if they put 4 or 5 wins together, they'll be back up the top.
Cracking.
So
Gentlemen, Pete Taylor says that he wore the number 3 shirt for every team he played for because I wanted to play fullback like Martin Grainger. Some cracking comments going through, yeah. Des Fox says there's a 4 to 5 week plan at St Andrews by the look of it. And great seeing Martin at the Blues 250 Club event from Bick. Special night and great recognition for the service to Blues. Bick does a lot of work with the youth, doesn't he? The kids around the city and that. So cracking guy. Yeah. Matt Davis' best Grainger memory was first promotion season against Sheffield United as Martin stepped up to take a free kick at St Andrews. St Andrews erupted into keep right on. As the song ended, the ball at the back of the net. Absolutely amazing. So he has some brilliant memories all around.
SRB Media.
Tony Grogan says Blues need to show some VTs of Grainger to the squad. And can you ask Martin which ex-player he's still in touch with? More importantly, who he tees off with? That's from Adam Wilkes.
Who he tees off? I don't play so much golf these days because I have a little bit of a back problem. But I still speak to Darren Purse now and then. And then, you've got John O, Devlin Horsfield. Like, you have little Twitter comments here and there,
Yeah.
Curtis Woodhouse, but not too many, to be fair. You all live in different parts of the country. I speak to Andrew Johnson quite a bit, to be honest.
AJ, cracking player.
I think he's ambassador for Crystal Palace now, and he's part of a football agency. So I had a chat with him a little while ago, just about life. He's okay and doing well.
Brilliant.
But not too many, to be honest.
Loads and loads of questions coming in for you, my friend. Paul Hipkiss says the best player you've ever played with.
To be fair, it's not a toughie. I didn't play that many because at the time I was in it, but Christophe Duguay.
Yeah, absolutely. What a man. Mark Hopkins' best Grainger goals was a solo run, rocketed the ball to the back of the net. Giggs did the same on that day and got all the press. Grainger by far the best. Somebody just asked Chris Browne if you're King Jong-un in the corner. You need to visit my son's barbers, matey.
SRB Media.
Robert Doyle wants to know your best memory of the Blues.
Best memories always reflect back to the best ever atmosphere I ever played in front at the Blues. There's a 4-1 win semi-final against Ipswich.
Do you know what?
Never always like that.
Exactly what I was thinking.
I was absolutely convinced that was on the golden goal. And I was,
Now his first goal he scored.
I know, but in the first half, I was convinced it was golden goal. I was jumping over the chairs and everything, thinking, and then all of a sudden the kick-off happened again.
But that sticks out massively, and obviously after the 3 failed playoff defeats, then getting to the Millennium Stadium and Hal Darren Carter for putting in the penalty.
It is a story that I tell on here very often, and that game against Ipswich, I took a profoundly deaf lad to that football match, and it was the first time he ever heard anything in his life.
Yeah.
And that was the whistling right at the end. It was. My ears are still ringing from it, honestly.
Yeah, it was an unbelievable day. But then I've done a little interview when I come to the 250 club. When we went into the second game at Millwall, I just knew, you just had the feeling we was going to get promoted. It was our time this time.
Mm.
And we just had the belief in the dressing room that we wasn't going to get beaten when we got there.
All right, okay. Carrying on then, Harry Griffiths wants to know, ask him what it was like in the tunnel against Villa. Horsfield said that they used to use some dirty tactics.
Yeah, there's a few words said. They're the so-called big Premiership football club, and you just fire each other up, and there'd be a bit of screaming and shouting and eyeballing, and I think they come out and frightened to death, personally.
Mm.
And we totally took it to them, and I thought we was far the better team for the 90 minutes.
When we were robbed in the Worthington Cup final, and we were robbed, how did you cope with that afterwards? Because I know as a supporter, I think it was David Ellery, the referee, wasn't it?
I believe if we didn't have a Premiership referee that day, we would have had the penalty in the last minute.
Absolutely.
Because we was Birmingham from the Championship, we didn't get it. But I mean, I thought we played so well that day for a Championship side against one of Europe's biggest clubs. I thought we deserved to win the game. Wasn't to be. Very, very disappointing. I mean, I was heartbroken missing the penalty. But then no one mentions mine because everyone always remembers AJ's, unfortunately.
But
yeah, it was very hard to pick yourself up from that. You just feel like you let everyone down, your family that's watching, and just gutted really, because that should have been ours.
We've just put a photograph of you up on the Facebook Live page of you holding the trophy at the Millennium.
Yeah, just after that,
looks like you got your
my Charlie held it, he dropped it and it bent.
Did he?
It was that heavy. I forgot how heavy it was, and I give it to him. He just dropped it, and the bottom part just bent up at a 90-degree angle.
Oh dear! Off to the jewellery quarter for that then.
Yeah.
Ken Plus, the best game was the Vile game on a Tuesday night, 2003, first derby in the Premiership. And Tom Balfour, does this side at the moment have it in them to win this on Sunday?
Well, like I say, on paper, you would say no, because I mean Villa have been pretty consistent over the last couple of months, and obviously Birmingham haven't. But hopefully that all goes out the window, and the 29,000 Blue Nose is going to be there, can give them another. Well, it looks like they're going to need another 70% the way they've been playing. But hopefully they can, if they get a positive result, we can turn their season around games like this.
Yeah,
so fingers crossed they can.
It is the big one though, isn't it?
Yeah, sorry, I missed that.
Yeah. Tony Grogan saying you didn't let us down, and Dennis Bohemia says, what's Grainger's thought on Mr. Muscat?
On Mr. Muscat?
Yeah,
no comment.
No comment. All right, leave it at that, kid.
Yeah.
Robert Bird wants to know. Bird wants to know if your son's a blue nose.
Sorry, say that again.
Robert Bird wants to know if your son is a blue nose.
They were to a certain degree, but one's a Spurs supporter and one's a Man United supporter.
So they're both Birmingham supporters then.
Yeah.
How much needle was there between Martin and Muscat? We all remember him looking like he wanted to lamp him, Stephen Cale.
Yeah, he was just one of those players, Kevin Muscat. He wouldn't tackle you, he'll do you, and he'll do you off the ball when it was 70-30 in his favour.
Yeah.
That's what people used to get the ump with. That's why, I must admit, Trevor used to say to leave him alone. But me and Martin O'Connor, we didn't concentrate on the game, we just concentrated on trying to kick him. Which is probably not the best tactics when you've got two players not concentrating on the game, you're going after one person.
So as a person, taking the football thing aside a little bit, what was the feeling like when you knew that football team had just got into the Premier League?
Oh, it's just your dream, isn't it?
Well, it was always mine.
Yeah, you took. I mean, when my dad convinced me about the club, because obviously being a Southern lad, and I didn't really know how big Birmingham was when they come in for me, and my dad sort of said to me, "Look, you've got a sleeping giant there. You've got to go. It's a massive club. Getting that club to the Premiership was." I mean, I'll never achieve anything like that again in my lifetime, obviously, but it was just an unbelievable feeling. But then for me, after 6 games, it fell apart. But at least I was part of the history of getting there.
Ah, absolutely superb, mate. I've got goosebumps all over me, honestly. I genuinely mean that.
SRB Media.
Brian Johnson, is Martin still in touch with Barry Fry?
Not, last time I see Baz was my Charlie played for England under 18s a couple of years ago at St George's Park, and I had a chat with him there. But no, not seen too much of Baz, to be honest.
Uh-huh.
I mean, since when I finished, I sort of stayed out of the way of football for a little bit. Just kept my head down and just got on with life, basically.
There's a gentleman here called Paul Ipkiss who's constantly asking who is the worst player you've ever played with.
Ferdinand Coley.
Who?
Ferdinand Coley.
Ferdinand Coley. He played in Serie A, I think, and he was possibly the worst right back I've ever seen.
Oh, you ain't seen me play.
And he played in a World Cup, I believe.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Dennis is asking who's the best manager you've ever had?
Ooh, I'm going to go back to my youth team days. My old youth team manager, Steve Foley.
Steve Foley, yeah?
He was unbelievable. He was the best coach and the best man manager I think I've ever played for.
Yeah, it's
Did you mean at Birmingham City?
And I think you meant anywhere.
Well, yeah. I mean, at Birmingham City, to be fair, Baz was the best 10 weeks for entertainment in my career.
I can imagine. We've tried to get him in, I've written to him a few times, but...
He's brilliant. What a character.
He don't answer. And did you ever sniff the flag? That's from Robert Doyle.
Sniff the flag?
It's all right. Right, OK, sometimes before games they bring this enormous flag around, yeah?
Oh, right.
And it starts off in the corner of the Tilton and then goes round the Cop, yeah? You know the one, don't you?
Yeah.
You know the one, Martin?
Yeah.
Well, it stinks like an old shed.
Oh, nice. Well, when I'm there Sunday, if he comes round, I'll have a sniff.
Well, everybody dreads it coming past them, to be honest with you. 'Cause, oh, no, the flag's coming out, it stinks. And it's just a really long joke on here about the smelly flag. Who was that, you? That was you, was it? I think Martin's passed out.
Even that man may jump.
Did it ever kick off in training sometimes, says Christian Treadwell?
Yeah, you'd have your disagreements. I mean, I used to train. I used to like to train how I played, so I would tackle people in training.
Right.
Darren Purse was the same. And you get a few people who wouldn't like it, but if you train how you play, then you'll play like that on a Saturday.
Mm.
And I always used to fly in training.
And Adrian Howell says, Martin, would you be interested in getting back into pro football coaching, maybe?
Yeah, possibly one day. It just depends what the role is and where it is, really. I wouldn't say no.
And Steve Cahill says, are you in the George before the game on Sunday?
Oh, I've got the missus, so probably not.
No. So, where do people look out for you then? Which one are you going to?
I've been invited to do. I think it's a Jasper Carrot Suite. I think I've been up there. Yeah. We've been invited for a meal, and I think we're poshing it for the day.
Very nice. Very nice.
I prefer to be out in the stands, but with the normal people. But there you go.
Joe Britland says, was it true about Grainger and Mooney having a bust-up in the changing rooms at Walsall away? What was it about?
It was the Sheffield United away.
Sheffield United away. So, no, it wasn't true then, was it?
Yes, there was a few arms thrown about.
Hey, it happens, doesn't it? It happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the thing is, things flare up, things happen, you get on with it.
You were right up there, right by the main stand, not the main stand, what do they call it now? What's the railway end, we'll call it, because that's how I've always known it, yeah? And I think it was a Tuesday night, a sunny Tuesday night, and a guy had his leg broke quite seriously.
Tom Bennett.
Tom Bennett, that's the man, yeah. I wrote to him actually afterwards and got a very nice letter back as well, and from the club. I'd just like you to know that I heard that snap in the Tilton.
Oh, did you know... the guy took the free kick and he sort of floated it, and I had my eyes on the ball and I just put my foot up to kick the ball, and he didn't see me coming, and he tried to teapot volley it, and his shin hit the bottom of my foot. Yeah. And he said, I can still. It's like two snooker balls going together. I can still hear it now. Yeah, yeah. Well, I said to Mum the second I heard it, I said, that's a break, that's gone. Yeah, it wasn't. You were both on the floor. I was just hoping it were you.
I think you'd be before my time.
Not a nice feeling in there.
Not a nice one. No.
Not for him.
No.
But also not for you that you've done it as well.
Yeah. Christian Treadwell again. Which player did you dread playing against?
Dread playing against? I mean, people with skill and pace, they're sort of half predictable. But the people that used to give me trouble is people like, I'm not just blowing smoke up his backside, is Paul Devlin, John McCarthy, Gareth Ainsworth, because those sort of players, I mean, if I had a winger up against me, if I could in the first 5 minutes stick a real hard challenge on you, I know you're not going to come back to me for another 25, 30 minutes, you're not going to fancy it. Yeah. But Paul Devlin, John McCarthy and Gareth Ainsworth, a lot of the time, you'd be looking up at the sky where they've chopped you up in the air. But I used to enjoy those days, but they were the sort of winger who were direct, quite pacey. Not particularly the most skillful wingers in the world, but they were direct and they were effective what they'd done. But they also liked to challenge. They like to stick their foot in as well. So, yeah, they were a pain in the backside, to be honest.
Was there a team you ever dreaded coming to St Andrews?
A team we dreaded coming to St Andrews?
Yeah.
No, I didn't fear anyone, yeah.
Nobody?
To be honest.
No.
Because Sir Alex Ferguson is well known for saying the place that he dreaded coming most was St Andrews.
Did he?
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm not being funny. When it's a full house, there ain't no better atmosphere.
No, there's no, is there? No. And what's it really, 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 really like? You know, because like we stand on the terraces and sing keep right onto the end of the road. But as a player, you know, like if a goal we've just netted or you're just walking out, how does that anthem as a player make you feel?
It just gives goosebumps.
Oh, I've got up now.
It's like
thinking
when
about it.
I'll go back to the Ipswich game.
Yeah.
I've got the hairs are standing up on my arms now.
I might not.
Always,
Every time you mention it. Look, I'm terrible.
I was really young with this game, and I still remember it like it was yesterday.
Apart from Grainger himself, who else was the club's dressing hard man from Sonny Albmed?
Well, Martin O'Connor, Darren Purse,
Yeah.
Paul Devlin was a fiery little Rottweiler, Jeff Horsfield.
Yeah, we've had Devs in.
He's in tomorrow as well, by the way.
Sorry?
He's in tomorrow morning as well.
Oh, yeah, Devs is starting to do a show here
tomorrow morning.
every
I was there, yeah. Dev was fiery. Dev loved the moan if you didn't give him the ball as well.
every Tuesday morning at
Every fortnight.
beg your pardon, every fortnight. What time, Chris?
Around about 12:15.
About 12:15. It's a no holes barred Paul Devlin show.
You're going to hear everything.
A lot.
A lot.
Right?
That'd be good.
No holes barred. There you go. And that's every 2 weeks. Brian Johnson says Daishy, yeah, he was a fiery character and all, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think I was with Daishy probably only a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
As I come in, I think a few people were going out. So he was a real tough cookie as well, big Kev Francis.
Kevin Francis, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, when there was a few of us, I mean, when you get niggly little injuries in the gym, and we had a 32-kilo punch bag, and that's the only punch bag I ever heard win when he used to punch it. Curtis Woodhouse was a tough little cookie as well.
Who, sorry?
Curtis Woodhouse.
We've had Curtis on the show. He's done a phone in for us as well. Yeah, he was obviously went into the boxing world afterwards, didn't he?
Yeah, he was absolutely mental. But a great lad, though.
Yeah, great lad.
Good mental.
Stevie Smith saying Tony Coton, Mick Harford, and Harry Griffith says, what was Savage like?
Savage.
Yeah.
Bit of a girl, to be honest.
Do you mind if we play that? We've got Ian Dunter from Talk Sports.
Nah, you can play if you want.
But if we play that next week to Ian Dunter off Talk Sports.
Go on.
I'm just hoping we're all in a good mood next Monday. That's all I'm hoping for, mate. Oh, dear, Martin. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Don't think I'm ever going to... I don't know.
I've got the air to go with it as well, hasn't
I beg your pardon?
Savage got the air to go with it as well.
Not now, he hasn't. Now he's cut it all off, hasn't he? Look like...
Oh, yeah, but he's got it even more boof-hunted now, hasn't he?
Dear. Crazy. Crazy. Kevin McCarthy said that side epitomised... Oh, hang on, I've just lost it. I've lost my thread. Oh, I've clicked the wrong button. I'm sure you'll get the thread, what he says, everything about Blues at the time. A dead ball situation, right? Everybody around me, and I was a season ticket holder when you were playing there at the time, everybody around me would just shout, Grainger!
Yeah, I mean, as a fullback, you don't get many opportunities. So sometimes you used to have to fight Devs to take it, but more often than not, he used to let me take them, and I got my fair share.
Yeah. Well, what did you score for Blues? 25 goals?
Yeah, something 25, 28, something like that.
25.
I think it works out. I scored 1 to games ratio, 1 every 10.
Well, about 1 every 10. 26 games, 25 goals, which is not a bad ratio,
Yeah,
like I say,
not
for
bad.
a
Good for a fullback,
fullback, yeah.
Yeah, didn't miss a penalty until I come to Birmingham. I think I missed 5 or 6.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't you ever think of not taking them then?
Yeah, I didn't. Well, I didn't get a choice in the end.
Yeah, right, okay. So you were playing for Brentford back in '96, and then Birmingham City come knocking on the door. That must have been quite a feeling. Or weren't you aware?
The manager pulled me in the office, Davey Webb, and he said, "Look, I've had a bid coming from Birmingham City. You've got no option. You've got to go." I was like, "All right, okay." I think the club were financially in a bit of a bad way.
Was you happy there at the time?
Yeah, at the time, my family was happy. I was playing some of the best football to date of my career, and So I went home and met me dad and said, look, Birmingham have come with me, Dad, what do I do? And he said, no. He said, son, you got to go. He said, it's a massive club. It's the sleeping giant. And he sort of sold it to me. So I didn't really know too much of being a youngster from North London. You don't really know too much past Watford. And he sort of told me a bit about the history of the club and the size of the club, and that was that, really.
And the passion of the supporters.
In the Grosvenor Hotel with the wife. A day later, I think it was at the PFA Awards, and I went up to his room and he answered the door in his shirt, sticky bow and socks and pants. And we conducted the deal in his bedroom. The wife was with me as well, so he's sitting there in his pants and his tucked shirt and sticky bow.
Incredible.
Yeah, only bands could do that.
Yeah, brilliant stuff.
SRB Media.
It's just not like it used to be. Not like it used to be back in your day, mate, is it?
No, we've got to forget about the disharmony and remember who's paying their wages, all them people that turn up every week.
Yeah.
You know, you put yourself aside with your petty little arguments with teammates who don't quite get on with. But when you're on that pitch, you 11, you do everything you can in your power to win for that blue jersey. Having a little have the argument afterwards. You know, when you get over that white line, you've just got to put yourself about, give 110%, run harder than them, tackle harder than them. Because like I said on an interview I did a little while ago, all these people going about philosophy of football. Football ain't changed for 150 years. You've got two goals, a green pitch, white lines of football, level on each side, be organised and run around and want it more than them.
SRB Media.
You know, I mean, some of them need a rocket up their arse, my friend.
It's the first foul language we've had on the Tilton Talk Show in 7 years. He did, yeah. Power to the Grange.
Yeah, but Grainger's allowed. He's allowed one.
Nobody's going to argue with him, man, mate. Yeah. Yeah, Stevie Smith says wages seem to be the divide in the dressing room. It's just attitude seems to be the divide. It's like,
I think we just have a bunch of players that, well, you got one half that have come in within the last year or so that are going to be on higher wage than the rest of the boys that were there originally under Rowett, and that's your divide in the dressing room. I think it is predominantly down to money.
But the thing is, when you sign a contract, it doesn't matter if it was for Gary Rowett, it doesn't matter if it was for Harry Redknapp or Steve Cottrell, you was happy with the money that you was offered.
Yeah, totally agree with you.
So if someone comes in and they're on £10,000 a week, whatever it is, more than you.
Darren Carter said exactly the same last week.
Better job. But you was happy with the contract that you signed. So if you're not happy with the contract you signed, say you want to leave and give all your money back.
Totally agree. Can't argue with that.
Gary Johnson, beg your pardon, says it's a breath of fresh air. Listening to Martin, old school player, brilliant. And agreed, Mr. Grainger, they all need a good, solid kick-in from Dean Lomas. Well said, that's what we want, players to give 100%. Mike Hansen, and spot on Kyle Colclough. And what a bloke from Kyle again. So there you go. Well, Martin, listen, we've taken up enough of your time, mate. Really, really, really appreciate you coming on. Excellent stuff. And you've now been immortalised on the Tilton Talk Show.
Yeah.
And we guys here, just to let you know what we're about, do this each and every single week for free. We don't get any money for it whatsoever.
We do it for love.
Love of the blues.
Love of the blues.
Chris owns all the studio and the setup. But then Sam's gallantly stood in for us this evening. Myself, I come all the way from Uttoxeter, which is by St George's Park, as you probably know. Yeah. So that's what we do. And we do this because we just love the blues, and that's it. That's our contribution to it.
That's brilliant. Well, thanks for having me. Great show.
No, you're a top man, mate.
Again, don't hesitate to give me a call.
Yeah, no problem. We'll do.
I love you, Martin. Thank you.
Martin Grainger, ladies and gentlemen, what an absolute legend. An absolute legend.
SRB Media.